Yeah, so I mean, you really launched my agency to where it is now. We have a lot of momentum building. This month alone, we just closed a five-figure placement. Actually, just deposited the check last night into my account, so that felt really good.
Nice. I didn't know that. We didn't even talk about that offline. Congratulations. I keep, sharing with people like how it was such a aha moment for me the first time I literally deposited the first check I got. It was like the light switches came on. And it was like, oh, this is real. So
Yeah,
how did it feel for you to actually like put the money in the bank?
it took my mindset of like this is a potential like hobby from like this can actually work. Like it was kind of that light switch, that aha like good feeling moment. Um,
Congratulations,
yeah.
man. That it is right. It's very different when it's tangible and like you're officially on the board. I mean, you were on the board when you got the placement, but then when nothing happens to the money's in the bank, and now the money's in the bank. So, um, yeah, can you talk about that particular client, the candidate, and then all the other candidates you have that you mentioned interviewing now?
Yeah. So the client is actually a niche client. They are in the insurance industry. So it had gone off of one of the coaching calls that we had had a few months back of kind of lowering the expectations that I had. And I ended up getting connected with this one client that was looking to hire multiple people through another sourcing platform that Jesse had introduced me to.
Great.
There was a like hungry recruiter that's like, hey, I already have somebody that we can plug in, and we got them through the process in less than a week.
Wow. So quick turnaround, quick deal. So yeah, I think it's funny. Like a lot of people sometimes get stuck on like, okay, I only work with clients at 25% or whatever. They have this number. And I used to be like that too. And I learned from experience that like, well, no, that's not the whole picture. That's one, the percentage, the fee percentage is definitely important, but then let's look at time to fill, right? Like, and I remember this is years ago when I was working at recruiting for Facebook before they were Meta, right? So over a decade ago. And they were like, yeah, this is an engineer that's 300 something K plus and it's 25% fee. So I'm like doing the math, like, oh my goodness, this is like, I'm gonna make this placement, I'm done for the year. But then it took like well over 6 months to fill the role. It took forever because obviously so many rounds of interviews, the bar's high. And I realized I would have made more money placing junior level engineers, like three of them versus one super high level. So I think it was smart that you just like said, hey, if I can get this deal done quickly, let's just get it done and get on the board.
Exactly. And that's where like I was when we first started talking is I was kind of like whale and shark hunting at first of trying to go after like the big fish that everybody else is chasing after.
Yeah.
And you and Jesse helped me like be able to understand and get into more of a niche from there. And now based off of niching down, I think we have about 15 candidates going into interview over the next 2 weeks,
Wow, 15?
even with the holiday. Yeah.
Wow. How many job orders is that across?
That is across about 10. 10, about a 10 to a dozen.
Dude, that's awesome. Congratulations. That's a huge pipeline, very healthy. As long as you can maintain that, then it'll just trickle down. Then you can start to, we talk about how once you start having momentum, placements, and like once you make your first placement, the client loves you, and then you kind of roll out the red carpet and starts giving you more business because you went from literally a stranger on the internet on LinkedIn to someone who actually delivered, whereas other agencies that might have tried failed and overpromised, underdelivered. You overdelivered and did it quickly within a week. So you've earned, yeah, the right to either ask for more business or they give you more job orders. And then by then you get a second or third client and then it kind of snowballs quickly. So I know you're experiencing that momentum, the win on your sales. So well deserved, man.
I appreciate it. I mean, it feels good to be able to achieve. They were actually working with about four or five other recruiters before I came on, and it sounds like they might be looking to clear their team and just go with us for now.
Yeah, and what was your mindset going into that? Because a lot of times, I think, especially newer independent recruiters like yourself, when they hear that a hiring manager has used other recruiters or is using other recruiters, like, oh, I'm going to be like one of many. I have to compete with other agencies. How am I going to outperform them. They already have a relationship. But yeah, what was your mindset and what did you feel you did to really beat out the competition?
I think maybe just coming back from sports, having an athletic based background of I just welcome the competition. I know kind of trusting my background in recruiting, sourcing, and the resources that I have to be able to outpace everybody. And that was a lot that you and Jesse were able to introduce me to.
Yeah, well, thanks for that. I mean, you did all the hard work, and
Yeah.
I do love the fact that you were leaning into the fact that you don't mind competing. And then it's one of the sound bites I'll share often on the coaching calls where I love telling hiring managers, hey, like, because the objection that people get scared of is saying, "Oh, I already work with other agencies," and then you can actually take that and like flip it to say, "Hey, that's great. Most of my clients also work with other agencies. I never ask for exclusivity because I'm never afraid to go like head on head with your other agencies, and because I get paid on performance, because I get paid on contingency, only if you feel like my candidate is significantly stronger than anyone else you're interviewing in your pipeline and you decide to make them an offer and they accept, whether it be a one-time, standard recruiting fee, but I'm happy to go against your other agencies. And I think the quality of my candidates will be very transparent. It'll speak for itself. Then you can
Yeah,
head
and
pick, right?
exactly. Because once I got in, that was our sales call right there. Was pretty much exactly what you had just said. Um, I must have used your script, but
Good.
but it also I found out the pain of like some of the other agencies like hadn't got candidates to them in weeks. They get good candidates, but it takes too long,
Mhm.
or they get too many candidates, but they're off par.
Yeah, and that pisses off hiring managers. And yeah, the fact that you did it well and did it quickly is great because we always talk about like the first time you get a new client. One, the moment you sign a fee agreement, it's almost like it's funny you mentioned sports. It's almost like the clock begins, like game on, and they're kind of at least in the back of their head looking to see how quickly you submit your first candidate and the quality of it. So you have to hit quality and speed, at least in the beginning, right? And then later on, if it takes a little bit longer or you have a creative candidate that you kind of want to be like, hey, take a look, there might be missing, you've earned the right to get creative or champion a kind of a off the cookie cutter type of candidate, but you can't do that in the beginning. You
You
have to
can't.
just show that you can listen, give them exactly what they want or more or better, and then that's because that's a reflection on you. So clearly, you made a good first impression, and now they're gonna want to keep doing business with you and probably not revisit the other agencies.
Yeah, they actually. The cool thing is, I've been working with their parent company. They have three sub companies under them as well that we've been able to partner with.
Oh wow! So that's really cool. It sounds like you kind of spread out. You kind of organically like increase your footprint within not just their organization but their parent, companies too.
Yeah, so I think so. They originally were still working with a few other job orders, but when we did the initial sales call, we were able to intake four roles.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think like you mentioned this is a niche client, and I think a lot of people in the beginning are kind of afraid of niching down because they're like, if I, especially experienced recruiters have done, these industries, they can say, I can fill almost any type of role. Like they have such a broad background, so they're afraid if they specialize too much, they're gonna miss out. And we're like, well, and I know I always tell people, hey, as that's actually not the case. You want to be niched down mostly to get your foot in the door and like it takes the tip of the spear to break in. Once you're in and you do good work, opportunities can't help but just present themselves, and you'll get referred from within the companies. You'll get introduced to other department heads or other companies in the client portfolio, right? Which is
Exactly.
really cool.
Yeah, and I mean that's the big thing too of niching is if you know your niche, that communicates very highly with the hiring manager or whoever you're doing that initial call with, because you know the right questions to ask and you have the insights of the industry behind it.
Right.
But like if you've only hired for software engineers and you're trying to now hire two attorneys and you've never hired an attorney before, you don't really know what questions really to ask.
Yeah, yeah.
to
And
find
hiring
the right
managers have a
people.
very finely tuned BS radar, right? So they're like, right, the moment your eyes start glazing over, like, do you actually get what I'm talking about? Do you understand these requirements? And yeah, and but that's the thing, right? Other recruiters kind of give us a bad name when they're trying to take on more business than they can really chew off, and their niche and their focus is too spread out. So I think it's smart that you just went laser focused, and then of course, if they throw you other job orders, you can just say yes and take
Yeah.
it from there.
And the big thing too is on the candidate side. When you niche down and you have multiple job orders in the same realm, you're able to resubmit and go through candidates that you've already worked with in the past that maybe your client has already seen before or it just didn't work out for some reason. But if you have highly placeable candidates, there's no reason why you can't reuse them with another client.
Yeah, yeah, we talk about across the middle, right? Like taking that
Yes.
one great candidate, submitting to like three different clients, and then at the end of the day, you probably don't care too much who picks them up because you'll get paid regardless, right? And this way, you also keep your candidate busy, right? Because if I'm your candidate and you got me interviewing at four of your clients this week, and then some other random recruiter calls me and be like, "Hey, John, I found your resume." I'm like, "Hey, great, maybe next week because you know, I'm fully booked right now this week." And then by next week, I'm fully booked with second round interviews. And so the better you can keep a candidate busy, the fewer opportunities they have to go interview elsewhere. And by the time you do your job right, they'll be in final rounds and they'll just probably pick one of the opportunities versus starting over with another recruiter. So it kind of kills a couple birds with that stone.
Exactly. And I mean, that's why we get into recruiting is for the candidates, right? Because
Yeah.
we want to help people find their new home. And also, if other recruiters are reaching out to your candidates, that could also mean that they're a good fit for those roles too.
Hmm.
I mean, those are great sales leads
Yep. Yep.
because you
Yeah.
know that they're working with other recruiters.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like when you like this person you placed, right? Like next time you chat with him, you can always ask, "Hey, like I'm sure you've been interviewing, if you're like most of my candidates interviewing with other opportunities before you landed this one that I got you. By the way, like, would you mind sharing with me where else you were interviewing? Because obviously, I'm sure they're a bit disappointed that they couldn't get you, and I'd love to at least throw them a bone and then help them out of the way if you don't mind. Like, I don't care. Like, yeah, this company I interview with, this is the hiring manager. This company was another company. This is the hiring manager. And then there you go. You're right. Two more prospective clients you can then reach out to, offer help. All right. Obviously, don't tell them that you took their candidate, right? Or you're the one that yeah, they missed out because of you. But then you can at least offer them a bone, and who knows, right? Get into more accounts that way. But well, man, I really am happy for you. Like, good job. And I know you stuck with it and you were grinding it out. You didn't give up. You were creative and you're still being very creative on how you build your team now. You have a team as well, other recruiters supporting you. So you're really in scale mode so quickly. And I'm
Mhm.
couldn't be happier for you. And I'm glad that we get to keep working together and start to really leverage things more. We're talking about more of the LinkedIn automation stuff that we're going to kind of scale more for BD. But if a hiring manager is hearing this, how can they get hold of you, especially if they need help with insurance or other type of roles?
Yeah, you can go to my website. It's tuscanystrategies.com. TUSCANY strategies, STRATEGIES.com. On the bottom, there's actually a link to my calendar. Grab a time, and I look forward to speaking with you.
Awesome. Hey, man, congratulations again. Well deserved. And yeah, I couldn't be happier, man. Thanks for kind of sharing your story. Hopefully, it inspires other people to, look to bet on themselves and see that it's possible to do recruiting for yourself and keep 100% of what you earn like you are. So, yeah, thanks for leading the way for other people.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, take care, man. Talk soon.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye now.